Hi, I'm Alistair Sonaram, and my coming out story is unique like everyone else's. I actually came out to my extended family first before I even came out to my immediate family. And this was just maybe 6, 7 years ago. And it's pretty unique because I had a lot of hesitation telling my family, even though I knew from a young age that my sexual preference was not was not the social norm. So it was very scary for me, and having grown up with a family that is very religious, I was not too certain how they would react to it. However, um, it was two of my best friends that actually stunned me with the news after a family friend of ours had come down for Christmas vacation and showed them a picture of me, my profile picture, on a gay hookup site. Now, when I got confronted about it, I freaked out. I actually closed myself off from them for maybe a week or so, not talking to anybody whatsoever. But eventually, I actually built the courage to tell them, or to confirm with them, because at that age, I was what, in my 20s or 19, just turning 20. I confirmed with them, and then later, a year after, I sat down and I messaged my sister, and I just told her. And the thing is, my sister, who's always been my rock, was very. She's like, she knew, she always suspected, and nothing about my lifestyle would ever change the way she loves me or thinks about me. And she's always been my rock that way, and she's always been supportive and encouraging. But when I actually told my mom was not 100% for it at the time, but she knew, she suspected as well, but she wasn't sure because in my younger age, I had maybe two girlfriends. But and my mom and I, after a while, we had this conversation, and she told me, she's like, well, I suspected maybe that you were into guys or experimenting and stuff like that, and you had like maybe two serious boyfriends. And I told her, yeah, I did at the time, confirmed with her who it was. And she was like, oh, but I've never liked them. However, it was my recent relationship with my partner that my mom actually opened up so much more and became more accepting to my lifestyle, that it all just became a norm. I no longer hid things from her. But when it came to my siblings, particularly my brothers, um, one of my older brothers I told, and he was like, well, you're my brother, you're my blood. I mean, you are who you are. There's no change in it. I mean, and it's just, again, like my sister, very supportive. And it was recent that I actually told my eldest brother, and his response was like, oh, you're gay? I'm like, yeah. You don't know? Because I kind of have like a boyfriend. He's like, oh well, you're gay, so what? Are you happy? That's all that matters. But the one person outside of my family has been my aunt that lives in Canada, and I actually told her before I told my mom or my siblings, and my aunt was like, "You're beautiful no matter how you are or who you choose to be. We will support you as a family and stand by you." And she then told me that my cousin is actually gay and is in a same-sex relationship and was married to her partner. And then it just opened up this whirlpool of emotions and broadened my relationship with some of my relatives after I told them. But coming out as a gay individual, um, in Guyana, it was different for me because I've never really had that form of bullyism. I've always really stood strong for myself. And even if persons were to have discriminated against me, they would never have done it to my face because I always stood firm about who I am and how I am. Because even from a younger age, I respected myself, even though there was part of me that knew I was not being true to. So, and that's something I always try to tell other persons that I come in communication with that are struggling to either tell their relatives or to confide in a friend, is that if you have that love for yourself and you truly believe in yourself, in your own time will you know it's right. It's not necessary for you to identify yourself in society because of your sexual orientation. Social norms, in particularly my society in Guyana, it conditions people to think that, okay, well, you need to be straight, but that's just something that we need to educate the others. But that's just my story, and I've really empowered myself in many different ways in the years, and I'll always want to tell people, don't force yourself to come out of a closet. You need to really love yourself and have that ability before you actually can confront anybody with it. Because there are going to be people with a lot of nasty things to say to you, and you're not necessarily going to be ready for it. So until you've reached that level of readiness, should you, but again, not necessary, do you need to tell anybody? Because your life is yours, however you live it, and however you choose to be.